But on top of that, we're gonna receive this understanding because we're gonna receive all those riches because what? The Lord has chosen us, man. The Most High has chosen us, and we're gonna have all those things that the Most High has given unto His people, who the Most High has meant for those people to receive, man. The Most High is meant for us to receive these things, okay? Not our enemies. So they're the ones who looking around, they're rich and they're proud and they got all the land and they run everything. But guess what? The Most High is going to give us those things. That's what the scriptures say. We are rich. So it says, and this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world and men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil, man. Because the deeds of the wicked are evil, man. You know, but the scriptures say, you know, because their deeds are evil. And we speak against those evil deeds. That's why they hate us like they do. This is John chapter 7 and verse, start at verse 3. And it says, his brethren therefore said unto him, depart hence and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest. And that's another thing. Jake try to act like they on our side, but yet they're trying to get us to go off. Even Peter said, what? Hey man, you're not gonna be killed. You're not gonna surely die. And he said, Yahweh Shah had to tell him, get thou behind me, Satan. Why? Because he didn't have the right spirit. He didn't have the right mindset. He wasn't in the right spiritual mind. Right? So that's why Yahweh Shah had to tell him, get thou behind me, Satan. You speaking as a man. You speaking as a fool, man. You don't understand that I got this is my purpose, man. You know, this is the Lord's will. This is I gotta fall and die, man. I gotta fall to the ground and die and bring forth fruit, man. You know? So you got to be in the right spirit. The Lord's brother wasn't in the right spirit. They trying to sit there and tell him, hey, man, why don't you do this? Man, don't tell us what to do, man. You don't even understand the scriptures. You don't do, you don't work judgment and justice, man. You don't do the will of the Most High. That's not your bread. That's not your meat, you know? You like a damn Pharisee and Sadducee, man. You understand the word as a damn brute beast, man. You do the bare minimum. You do the sacrifices and whatnot, but that's it, man. Scripture tell you to he wants our hearts to be converted, man. That's why the Lord begins with our hearts, right? So when you speak against it, you don't just come up uttering anything, because watch what's going to be the judgment of his brother. It says, his brethren therefore said unto him, depart hence and go forth, and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest. For there is no man that doeth anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly. If thou do these things, show thyself to the world. It says, for neither did his brethren believe in him. Then Yahweh said unto them, my time is not yet come, but your time is always ready. It says, the world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it that the works thereof are evil. See there? When you when you testify of the word, that's why the scriptures say that we're supposed to be hated, man. How in the world you not hated when you sit up here calling yourself a Christian? Nobody give a damn about you calling yourself a Christian. No, you know, they'd be like, oh, that's so good. You know, yeah, you got white people running out here talking about something, you know, waving at me and stuff. Listen, man, I'm talking about the judgment of this place. You don't really know what I'm talking about. And that's the same thing when you say that you're a damn Christian, right? Nobody hates you. But when you say you're an Israelite, when you got the fringes on, when you speak in judgment, when you're telling people to turn from their wickedness, then that's when people have hatred towards you. And you know what? You're supposed to be hated and buffeted for righteousness. You're supposed to be buffeted for righteousness. Not for doing wrong, not for your own faults. You're supposed to be buffeted for righteousness. That's why all these people running out here saying Black Lives Matter. Listen, that's you being destroyed for your wrong, and you sitting up there marveling in that thing, man. You marveling in that thing as if it's something good. We gotta wake up in these last days, understand that we're supposed to have righteous judgment, man. Not sitting up here looking on the way of the wicked and the way of the so-called white man, and to believe on those things. You're supposed to believe in the way and in the understanding of the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. So it says what? So the scripture say, yeah, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that his works thereof are evil, man. So if you're not opening your mouth, speaking judgment on this wicked kingdom, the system that ought to be destroyed, if you're not bringing judgment concerning this place, then guess what? They're going to be somewhat cool with you. They don't care about you out here, about Jake out here twerking and being homosexual and eating pork and doing all these evil things, defiling Sabbath days. They don't care about you doing all that. What they care about is if you're speaking what's right, man. And they're going to use you like they always have, man. They're going to use you like they always have, you know? You know, when you in that wicked mindset, right? When you in that mindset not to know the Most High, they're going to use you, they're going to murder you, they're going to kill you, they're going to do all these things because those afflictions are up on our people. That's the signs that shows that who are the Israelites. That's why everybody's concerned with what's going on with the so-called black man. All the way overseas, they looking at them, you know, what the black people doing. Let's look at that World Star Hip. Let's get on that World Star Hip Hop and whatnot. You see? These are the things that are being made manifest in these last days. These things are being pushed forth to have understanding in those things. Right? Right? Then it says what? And this is Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 10. Make the heart of this people fat and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and convert and be healed. You see, the Lord don't want you to have that thing. He don't want you to have that blessing because you're worthy to believe on the idols that's in your heart. You're worthy to believe on the idols that's in your heart. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man. And it says, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. And the Lord have removed men far away, and there be a great forsaking in the midst of the land. But yet in it shall be a tenth, and it shall return, and shall be eaten as a teal tree, and as an oak, whose substance is in them. It says, when they cast their leaves, so the holy seed shall be the substance thereof. So the Lord gonna bring destruction, man. And that's what's gonna happen in these last days. The Lord's gonna bring destruction upon the wicked and upon our enemies. Okay? And therefore, we are gonna be a lot of our people are gonna be out of luck, man. We're gonna be in a place of destruction, man. So yeah, the teachers are not being removed into the corner anymore, and we're giving understanding to our people, man. Because it's the will of the Most High. How about Shem Yahweh Shah? It says in Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 12, woe unto them that rise up early. Salakia, you know what? It says in verse, let's go ahead and start at Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 1. Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my well-beloved, a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My well-beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill, and he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest vine, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitant of Jerusalem, and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. So that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to judge among the vineyard, the oppressed people, the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Native Americans, and the so-called black man, the so-called Negro man. This is the vineyard of the Most High, okay? And the Lord is telling us to judge between them, right? And we got to teach them how to be righteous, man. Not to be continuing in folly and madness. Not to continue in the ways of the wicked. Not to continue to not be separate. Okay? We're supposed to judge between the vineyard. Right? So it says, and now, in verse 3, and now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem, Salakia, verse 4, what could I have done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? It says, wherefore, when I look that it shall bring forth grapes, brought forth it wild grapes. Brought it forth wild grapes. That's right. People that don't have understanding, people who think in wickedness and folly, man. You know, we're supposed to be having understanding these last days, being made pure in these last days, man. Not be looking to be like the so-called wicked, not to be like the so-called white man who have destroyed our people, destroyed the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're supposed to rise up and have understanding. We're the vineyard of the Most High. Okay? So, hey, this understanding has been given in this last day, and our people continue to walk past and to continue to, well, I'm not worried about that. I'm not in that spirit. You know, I forgive my enemy, man. I forgot about that. You know, that's old stuff. Well, guess what? Your enemy is still thriving based off of the destruction that he has caused throughout the earth and destroying you. You were the main picture to that thing. You were the main piece to that puzzle, man. Your destruction. And that's why your enemy is continue to thrive. Your enemy is continue to rise. Okay? And in your presence, your kingdom is being destroyed, right? Because the earth was made for our sakes, but Yahweh has a place, has given us a place, right? Which is Israel, Jerusalem, right? And it's being destroyed by strangers in our presence, man. Okay, our water is sold unto us. Our wood is sold unto us, man. These things we're supposed to have in our mind. We're supposed to have righteous judgment. So it says, what could have done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? He already smiting us, but we won't grieve. It says, wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes. Because he gave us the affliction. He gave us the mindset and the heart to speak righteous judgment, to hear and see what is good and acceptable. It says, and now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the heads thereof, and it shall be eaten up. And we think that we have a hedge right now, even though this is kind of speaking about Israel. And the ancient Israel, right? Not the daughter of Israel right now, okay? But it's talking about the elder Israel, right? Now it's speaking on those things, and it's gonna happen to us again. He's gonna lay up the hedge, man. We think we got every little thing that we get is gonna be taken up, right? Because we believe in our enemy. We still have love for our enemy, right? Just like we did in the past, man. We played the harlot, man, joining ourselves to the wicked, right? Joining ourselves to their sons, man. That's what Israel did, played the damn harlot. And you know, men don't be liking unto no woman, especially no woman doing lewd things like that, man. We Israel, we don't need them. We don't need the so-called white man to stroke our head, man. We supposed to turn to the Most High. This word is unto the men of Israel, man. And we have understanding. That's why we're gonna have a king set up above us, man. Right? So when I say we don't like to be likened unto women, I'm saying, speaking of in the sense of what the scripture is saying, we open our feet to these other nations, man. That's why we in these last days who have ears to hear and eyes to see, we are speaking on righteousness, man. Look at our damn people with the enemy, man, with the so-called white man, man. The Mayans and the Aztecs and the Native American, the Incan people were destroyed by their enemies, man. And that's why the Most High, he requires that thing. That's why their wicked nations are falling down. That's why these people continue to destroy the earth, right? We got to have understanding. So then let's continue to read. It says what? And I will, let's start at verse 5. And now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the heads thereof, and it shall be eaten up. right? And that's what's happening in these last days. Everything that you believed in, everything that you hoped in, the Lord going to destroy it. It says, they shall build, but I will throw down. This is Edom speaking, man. They're going to build these desolate places. They're going to build these places up, but the Lord going to destroy it, right? And this is where your hope lies, man. And these are your lovers. You don't want them to be destroyed, nor do you want their kingdom to fall, man. You have happiness. That's why you taking pictures and whatnot. All in the, hey, that's what the Lord talking about. When all the pictures is gonna be destroyed, it's also talking about all these damn stupid social medias that you are using for wickedness and folly, man. You're not using it for righteousness. So it says what? And I will lay it waste. So like it says, and it shall. This is verse 5. And it shall be eaten up and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. That's what happened to our people, and it's happening to us again. Right? It's happening to us even in the land of our enemies, even in the land of our captivity, man. You know, it happened to our in our kingdom, and it's happening now. You see? Then it says what? In verse 6, and I will lay it waste, it shall not be pruned nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns, and I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it. So we ain't gonna have no covering. We're gonna have no riches. We ain't gonna have nothing that we are able to trade and deal with the nations, man. Lord gonna make a full. He made a full destruction of Israel, man. That's why they were able to destroy Black Wall Street, man. When they seen that we were actually getting some economic power, they destroyed it, man. When they saw that black people got an economic power, the so-called white man destroyed it. So they took away that chance of us being an economic power in the 1920s. But our enemies won't acknowledge that, and they only want to hate black men in their heart, and they only want to look on black men as nothing. So therefore, they won't even acknowledge those things, and they only acknowledge World Star Hip Hop. That's the only thing they acknowledge for the so-called black man. They don't acknowledge the fact that we have been destroyed and that they have manipulated our futures. They don't acknowledge those things. They don't acknowledge the fact that they have put these evil things into our mind to believe upon. Okay? That's what all these wicked nations that have a power, they won't acknowledge these things. They want us to